Marvel Superheroes products have officially been released. How is the secondary market reacting? Find out in this latest episode of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. This video is sponsored by Flipside Gaming. Check out flipsidegaming.com for all your gaming needs. Right now, you can order Marvel Superheroes products there, pre-order the Hobbit products, or find a vast number of other great items on their website. Remember, shipping is free in the US if your order's over $100 or consists only of singles. Just look in the description or comment section below for direct links to their site. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to another edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. As I said in the cold open, Marvel Superheroes products are now available, and as you would expect, some of the new cards are impacting the prices of existing ones, but there are some other interesting things to discuss this week as well. Having said that, the secondary market is rather slow right now as attention and money flow moves towards the new products. Now, we're not going to discuss Marvel Superheroes card prices this time since they have only been out for a couple days, and the cards are trying to settle into their correct price points, but next week we'll start working them into the Market Watch videos where applicable. Today though, we're going to look at all the other cards that have moved at least 20% and $1 in either direction. In total, we'll see 3 cold cards moving down in price and 6 hot cards moving up. Quickly before we get started though, just a couple fast things. I do want to say thank you to one of our viewers who gave a super chat tip during our live stream last week, and that is Mark Vonbank. Mark, thank you so much for your support on the live streams and just your support in general, your support on Patreon and so forth. Thank you so much, Mark. I do appreciate it. And I also want to say thank you to one of our gold patrons, and that is Omar Rodríguez. Omar, thank you so much for all your support on Patreon. It goes a very long way. I could not do this without viewers like yourself for sure. So thank you, Omar. And now, without any further ado, let's get into it. We'll begin with the top 3 coldest cards of the week. All 3 cards in this section were recently moving up in price, but are now starting to settle into their appropriate price points. Let's go ahead and jump right in with a card that was number 11 on the hot list last week. This week it's number 3 on the cold list, Paleoloth. Down $1.04 to $3.46, that is a 23% decrease. It can be a solid commander card in go big green builds around cards like Kona Rescue Beastie, Insolence of the Spike Stampede for example. Paleoloth did dry up online last week, and that scarcity caused a small price bump. This week, more copies went up for sale, almost completely erasing last week's increase. Number 2 is Bottle Cap Blast, down $1.42 to $3.73, that's a 28% decrease. This is from the Fallout Science Commander deck with an exclamation point. It is found in a few different commander builds, like the ones around Magda Brazen Outlaw and Vehen Goldwaker for example. Not too long ago, this saw a price spike when players began putting it in commander decks around Lorehold the Historian from the recent Secrets of Strixhaven set. The market moves fast though, and as players and speculators turn their attention to Marvel Superheroes cards, Bottle Cap Blast begins to retract some. Keep an eye on it though. I have seen it appearing in commander deck lists around some of the Marvel cards, like Tony Stark / the Invincible Iron Man and Iron Man Master of Machines. And number 1 is Stone Calendar, down $13.10 to $20.50, that's a 39% decrease. This reserve list card doesn't see much play to speak of, and if you're a regular viewer of the Market Watch, you might remember that Stone Calendar spiked aggressively due to a targeted buyout at the end of May. At that time, I said the price will go back down when the purchased copies are sold back into the marketplace, and that's what's happening now. Alright, on to the main event, the top 6 hottest cards of the week. We'll get started with the card that's moving up 7 spots this week to number 6, Kadric Soul Kindler, up $1.19 to $7.28, that is a 20% increase. This is from the Dominaria United Legends Legacy Commander deck. It's commonly found in a few different commander builds, like the ones around Jodah the Unifier and Girad Mirror of the Wilds for example. However, it's the Marvel Superheroes products that are causing this to jump. There are a ton of new legendary creatures in the Marvel products, and many of them are going right into commander decks around Jodah the Unifier. The continuing interest in these Jodah builds has caused Kadric's price to jump some more this week. Coming in at number 5 for the second week in a row, Scurry of Squirrels, up $1.50 to $4.93, that's a 44% increase. This is from the Bloomburrow Squirreled Away Commander deck. It's commonly found in squirrel-centric commander builds, like the ones around Shatterfang Squirrel General, and Hazel of the Root Bloom from its pre-con for example. Squirrel decks are getting hot again now thanks to a couple cards from Marvel Superheroes, and that's why this has been spiking aggressively. The new cards I'm referring to are the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl from the main set, and Tippy-Toe Terrific Partner from the Jumpstart set. I'm already seeing scurry of squirrels in commander deck lists around the unbeatable Squirrel Girl. The second ability on this card plays well with a double Myriad on Scurry of Squirrels, since you can't make Squirrel tokens to replace the Myriad tokens before you have to sacrifice them. Coming in at number 4 for a second week in a row, Norman Osborn up 278 to 1040. That's a 37% increase. Sometimes this appears in the 99 of commander builds, like the ones around Kefka Court Mage, for example. But more importantly, it's been a popular commander for villain typal decks since it came out. Obviously, this is heating up now because of all the new villains in the Marvel Superheroes products. The Marvel products have brought plenty of new tools for commander builds around Norman Osborn, but this is also a good upgrade to the new Doom Prevails commander deck. I'm already seeing many players getting this to upgrade the build, while others want to put Norman Osborn in fresh decks around the front-facing commander from there, Dr. Doom, King of Latveria. Alright, quickly before we get to our top 3, just a fast reminder, this video is sponsored by Flipside Gaming. Check out flipsidegaming.com for all your gaming needs. Right now, you can order Marvel Superhero products there. You can also now pre-order the Hobbit products, or find any number of other great items on their website, magic related and otherwise. Remember, if your order is over $100 or consists only of singles, shipping will be free in the US. And if you're looking for a direct link to their site, just check out the description or comment section below. I do have links posted in both of those places. And now, without any further ado, let's get to the top 3. Moving up 6 spots this week to number 3, Prismatic Lace up 1584 to 1948. That's a 435% increase if you're doing the math at home. This reserve list card was not seeing much play to speak of until very recently. It's spiking now because many players have been picking up copies for their 1v1 dual commander builds around Cesareo Weatherlight Captain. The card makes sense there, and as long as those decks continue to use Prismatic Lace, its price may remain elevated. Coming in at number 2 is Shallow Grave. This is up $23 to $121.61. That's a 23% increase. This reserve list card is found in 1v1 dual commander builds around several different creatures like Aminatu the Fate Shifter and Vohar Vidalian Desecrator, for example. It's also found in pre-modern 5-color Stiflenaut decks. However, Shallow Grave is spiking this week because of its expanding role in the Legacy format. This has been a part of the Reanimator builds there, and MTG Goldfish did run an article featuring those decks this week, which might have brought some more attention to this card because it is a key part of those builds. But there's more to the story here. Some Legacy players are trying out a new card from the Marvel Superheroes Jumpstart set in Doomsday builds alongside Shallow Grave. The card is Dr. Doom Unrivaled, and this, along with Shallow Grave, gives those decks new ways to set up a win condition. We'll have to see if this new Doomsday can perform well in the Legacy meta going forward, but right now there's a lot of hype around Shallow Grave and these Doomsday builds. I've also seen some players putting Shallow Grave in commander decks around Dr. Doom Unrivaled, so that too is something to keep an eye on in the coming weeks. And finally, coming in at number 1 is Earthcraft, up $154.99 to $379.99. That's a 69% increase. This reserve list card sees a fair amount of play in both 1v1 dual and regular commander. In dual commander, it's been in partner builds around Rograk, Son of Roga, and Thrasios Triton Hero, for example. Over in regular commander, you see it in decks around Brigid, Clackhand's Heart, and Shatterfang Squirrel General. Remember, Earthcraft famously combos with Squirrel Nest to give you infinite 1/1 Squirrel tokens, so you can probably guess why this is spiking now. That's right, the unbeatable Squirrel Girl from the Marvel Superheroes main set and Tippy-Toe Terrific Partner from the Jumpstart set are the catalyst for Earthcraft's spike. These cards are enhancing commander builds around Shatterfang Squirrel General, sure, but I'm also seeing lots of players putting Earthcraft and Squirrel Nest in their commander decks around the unbeatable Squirrel Girl. Since Earthcraft is a hard-to-find reserve list card, the increased demand has made its price spike aggressively. Alright, that's going to do it for this episode of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. Kind of a quick one this week. I do think next week things will pick up as players start to wrap their head around what the Marvel Superheroes cards are going to do to various metas. So definitely come back for that. And tomorrow I'm going to try to do an MTG Arena stream. So stop by if you can. We'll play some Marvel Superheroes draft, try to figure out some of these cards. Until next time though, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.